Hello, I am here to talk about modernism. The modernism period was from the late 19th century to the early 20th century. It was a time of great rebellion for American writers and the American people. They went through many hardships. There's the Great Depression and also World War II. The main thing with modernism was the rebellion stage in modernism. So, religion in modernism people started to lose faith in God. With World War I, they were thinking, why would so many people die? Why would God do this to us? And started to question it. And modernist writers also had a feeling of self. They were self-conscious. It was fragmented. It was cynical. It was alienated, and it was also detached from society. People like Emily Dickinson, at the beginning, she was completely unattached from society, and she had lived in an attic, and she just wasn't. And that's what started the modernism period. They felt like they needed to express them away in some other form, and writing is what helped that. They started to lose, according to Mr. Langley's blip video, they're starting to lose faith in the American dream, which a typical American dream was to have a family, a house, typical things, and they just started to lose faith in it by going against the traditional values and not forming families and just doing what they felt what they needed to do. They also started to reject the hero during this time. According to Mr. Langley's video, the rejection of hero as infallible in favor of hero rejection of hero as infallible in favor of hero under grace. So it's kind of like talking about the hard times they're going through. That like they're going through hard times and they're making it better and they're doing what they can. It's not, oh, it's always good for them, and it's how they do it. And the language in modernism, there's a lot of symbols. Poe, according to Mr. Langley's video, Poe used a lot of metaphors, and they use symbols to capture the emotional feelings that they have and to transfer them to their audience. They also used a lot of imagery, which is tangible images, which shows that to show what they're talking about. And like jazz music came along during this time, and I was the poem I read by Carl Sandburg called Hokey Pokey in Cleveland, Ohio, talked about the life of a person in jazz, and he used great imagery to get the poem along. So modernism is just basically a form of rebellion in the form of writing. It's music, it's jazz, it's a bunch of everything. Ezra Pound, big one. He was a big poet. There's Ernest Hemingway and everything. It was just a period of rebellion and people learning who they wanted to be. People started to lose faith in their traditional values, and they started to make their own, which was also the rebellion stage of the modernism period. With government, the big person in government during this time was Karl Marx. He was a sociologist, and he wanted to form a classless society, which would say that they wipe out all forms, everybody is at one time or at one place in society, all equal, and then rebuild from there to get the society back to where it should be. Government, there just wasn't much going on. People were also starting to lose faith in the government, but World War I kind of helped them get back to it by winning and helping out the people during World War I. The nature of modernist was the culture and art seemed inadequate to express a sense of loss and new beginnings, which means the culture they were in with realism, they feel like it wasn't good enough to express the feelings that they were going through, and they needed a new era to explain how they are feeling, which is versus romanticism, which is the rule, the agriculture, and the traditional values of life. Modernism was totally against that. They talked about stuff that they felt needed to be talked about. That was according to Gordon. With human nature and psychology, according to Samantha Gordon, it revolts against normalizing functions and traditions, which is basically just going back to the rebellion stage. That's mostly what modernism was, and it's just talking about revolts, like people, they're like